Belit! Belit! Wait up!
Damn it! Watch out! I had it under control. I just wanted some air.
You're not the only one who survived out there alone. I can handle myself quite well, thank you.
I didn't mean it like that. At least your quick draw hasn't gotten rusty.
A six-shooter wasn't much of a match for a Wendigo. What was the first lesson on survival that darling boy Sebastian told us? Over and over again.
That people have one advantage. Use your brain. Before anything else.
And frankly, my dear, you're not heeding that. I know your heart is wrapped up in all of this. Shannon meant so much to you. The role model you needed. A big sister. Dare I say it? A mother.
And I was a horrible person to her in the end. Why should you even care? I was just as horrible to you down in the vault, too. Well, all of you.
You are beautiful and talented. But in the end, and humans always have the chance to grow. At least until we die. And that's not today. Probably not tomorrow either.
I've never told you how sorry I am for.
Frankly, you don't have to. You said it when you made that first episode of The Return of Lair, darling. When you bought me that first drink. Our first night together.
If I had to have sex with somebody to apologize to them, then my agent should be satisfied for the next 10 lifetimes.
Honestly, it wasn't the act. That was the apology. It was that look in your eyes the morning after, or when you thanked the cast and crew after that first episode. You finally told the entire vault that you loved them, in a single act.
But I never said it to you. You deserve it, as much as Annabelle, or as much as anybody else I wronged, because I was too busy with self-worship, paying tribute to my own personal golden calf.
Words are meaningless without actions, and your actions speak volumes. You finally learned how to love, and by that right, I forgive you.
I still remember that feeling, when we wrapped on the first episode. You were putting away the Folly equipment, that stupid sheet of metal we used for thunder. Mexi had just lit a cigarette in the corner. Some foreign, alien thing, crawling inside me. I hadn't felt it in so long I had no words for it. I almost felt faint for a second, and then I recognized it.
I honestly don't remember that day, too much. Just Maxie kept giving me the eye, that little subtle wink of his, and then just seeing you, pass, perhaps, in a moment.
Everything felt different after that day. The start of something that just grew when we got that standing ovation when it premiered.
I was already a musician, but when that first episode premiered, I was a musician, an actor, and finally, an artist. I didn't care what my role was on Lara, darling, but you gave me a chance to try everything.
And to think, I laughed at the idea of performing for such a small insignificant crowd. The entire population of the vault, nothing compared to Hollywood. Oh, the fit I gave the overseer, for years, but all my petty anger. I was just a lost little girl, no purpose, no home, and that tore me up.
We all carried more baggage than suitcases when we went into the vault. That was the point all along. Vault-Tech's twisted experiment.
Well, there's no use just standing here and feeling sorry for myself. Let's get to searching. Holotapes, long-dead terminals, grocery lists, any bit of information.
Finally, somebody is back. It's been over an hour.
I take it that your efforts were successful?
Yes, our labors produced fruit. We come bearing gifts.
All labors. I'm the one that carried this bloody terminal all the way down here. Found it deactivated in what appeared to be the remains of a bedroom or office. Entire wing was burnt to a crisp.
I found a couple of old written journals. Seemed to just be inventory accounts from before the war. When they returned to the manor, might shed a clue. A few holotapes I couldn't seem to access.
You can just set it down next to that terminal. I'll add it to the pile. That project, Sci-Fin holotape, might work on them. My computing power is rather limited. What would take hours normally will take me days. Or even weeks.
I guess it will need to take as long as it takes. I really should just get to working to keep busy. Need any help with anything, Maxie?
Althea is working on a stew. We need to be eating healthier food. I don't care to come down with gout or scurvy. Annabelle is working on maintaining the back entrance elevator.
Since I could burn water, I guess I'll see if the A-bomb needs some help. Care to join me, Daveigh?
I may not look it, but I haven't had a good 8 hours for at least a week. There's a sleeping bag with my name on it in the other room. Going to head out at the first crack of dawn.
Are you leaving us so soon? No torch song for Althea?
Okay, I may wait until she wakes up tomorrow. A quick bit of song for my supper, so to speak. But I got my own journey. I might catch everybody again at Bruno's gathering, if that ever happens.
Well, I guess it's probably farewell. Until next time, and thanks for everything. And on that note, I'm going to check on Annabelle.
Look, we decide to make an appearance again.
I guess I really should explain.
I'm just giving you a hard time, I understand. Needed some air. Needed to really kill something. I get it.
Annabelle, I'm sorry, okay?
What for? You didn't accidentally break the coffee machine, did you? Because that I couldn't.
No. For what? For what I did. To you. Down in the vault.
That, well, it happened over 20 years ago. What, or long ago under the bridge.
No, it can't just be that simple.
We don't have time to focus on old wrongs. Brave new world. You remember. And besides, I knew you were sorry the first time you couldn't look me in the eye when I was on security patrol. It looks like the head relics are good to go for now. Maisie will have to settle for just the one working elevator for now.
I'm not asking for absolution. That's sex thing. But I just want everybody to know I'm...
That you're sorry. Everybody who cares already knows. We've known this since the return of Lair, darling. We've known it since Reclamation Day. We've known it since the big one against the Queen.
So, where do I go from here?
It's really up to you. But you can start by holding up that beam for me. I'm still down an arm. Want to reinforce the beams in the room to avoid a possible collapse.
Every journey begins with a single step. Okay, got it.
Alright, hold it right there.
Okay, the stew is done. Mixed in what I could. Some potatoes, a mud fruit or two. It tastes okay, but I'm definitely not a gourmet chef.
That's quite alright. I'm simply concerned about our malnutrition. All the survivors have it to some extent. The lack of a constant supply of fresh and unirradiated fruits and vegetables.
After I saw Belit and Daveigh come back, I ducked back to my cooking pot. Where did everybody head off to?
If I know Daveigh and they have been through. He stayed asleep and will be until morning. Belit went to help out A-bomb with elevator maintenance. I wanted at least one tour to be nominally reliable.
I have to say, we all have a pretty strange relationship, as opposed to how things were before the war and outside of the vault.
It is natural for our society to develop differently. We were self-contained for 25 years. Virtually our own laws, rules, social mores. That progressed instead of stagnating.
Well, you know, we have been rather unorthodox. I was raised with the idea of one wife, to a husband, and a bunch of kids. Not, well, what we have.
I personally think most traditional sexual mores are downright silly, and frankly, unproductive. And rejection of them promotes equality and equity.
I never thought that, well, Annabelle, it all caught me so off guard, and I was so ashamed, and full of guilt. Then again, when I, well, let's be honest, betrayed her.
While your constant need for religious flagellation is understandable, given your upbringing, it is completely unnecessary, as I often have to remind you in rapid and constant repetition. Annabelle long ago forgave you. Forgive most people, in fact. It is the practical response to our brave new world.
If it was up to you, we'd probably be in one large orgy melting pot. Something. Awash in our own hedonism and depravity.
You have an unfortunate habit of oversimplifying my feelings and desires. Not all are cut out for the group dynamic, But I would give people the freedom to make that choice. Is America not built on freedom?
Well, I am always sad for what we lost. I don't miss the sexism, the racism. Dear God, my own neighbors disappeared in the middle of the night, all because they had Chinese ancestry. But the fact that all 5 of us down here have had relations with each other, directly or indirectly, complicates things.
And we already addressed it down in the vault. Birth control. No transmittable venereal diseases. And sexual violations. We're almost unheard of.
But there's more to it than just the population control. Feelings could still get hurt. Trust could still be misplaced. It still had repercussion.
The ebb and flow of those considerations are simply a part of interpersonal relationships. Professional. Intimate. The same difference. But what are our alternatives, pray tell?
I suppose we have none. And I guess given the range of relationships we have, it's best that they put this vault in West Virginia.
Galaxy News Radio. When evil walks the street.